Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to another episode on the podcast Angles with Angel. I'm so happy that this particular episode is actually happening because the devil tried, but God said no. We actually did a recording earlier.
Yeah.
But the audio was rubbish and it wasn't just great to put out there. And so we're doing this again and I'm reintroducing my guest. Ayomide. Hello, Ayomide. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine.
Good to have you and thank you for coming again.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, we had such a good discussion last time and we're going to have a better one this time. But yeah, let's start with a little about you. Tell us about you. Who are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
I will start by saying thank you for this opportunity to do this with you. I'm really grateful. My name is Ayomide and I want to say Adeyemi, but my husband is going to come for me. I'm a teacher. I'm an early years practitioner, basically in the UK, and I'm happily married.
Okay, great. So let's talk about, I mean, you mentioned you're a teacher. Yeah. Let's talk about your journey into teaching. How did it start? Because I don't think anyone wakes up and says, I want to be a teacher. Most people start with, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer. Did you actually want to be a teacher?
No. Which you're actually very right. I don't think I've really met anyone that really wanted to be a teacher. Mm-hmm. Or maybe they are. But for me, I wanted to be a lawyer.
Mm.
And
my Lord, may I?
And that didn't work out. So secondary school, growing up, I wanted to be a lawyer. And when it was time for me to go into the university, I wrote my JAM. My JAM was good. My post-UTME into UI, I didn't meet the cutoff for law. And so I was given education. I didn't want to take it, but my auntie was like, you don't want to stay at home. Just go. Just do it. And then they're like, everybody encouraged me. Like, don't worry. After your first year, you cross back to law and then you can start all over again. I was like, okay. So even though I was in education, I mean, my classmates that knew me then, my mind wasn't really there. I was studying so hard just so I could, cross over to law. But as God will have it, my second year we started prepping to, change and all of that. I've collected the change of course form, everything, did everything. My auntie has pulled the string, bless her. And the cutoff, because they will also have a cutoff of amount of people they can take. Yeah. And the cutoff actually ended on my own head.
The cutoff cut off on you.
Cut off on me, so I couldn't. That was the end of my law dream. So obviously now that had happened to me, I was like, okay, now I'm stuck here. I need to try and enjoy this course that I'm doing now. So I think I remember back then I went to our chapel, I prayed, I cried. I was like, God, now that I'm here, help me to find purpose, help me find joy in doing this, because I really detested education with all of my passion. Yeah. And so
I think there's also this, I don't want to say classism or
this
thing about education people, even in Unilag, everybody's in education.
And I feel like you don't know book if you're in education.
Exactly. But I mean,
and I also feel like our society focuses so much on if you're not a doctor or you're an engineer or lawyer, all those top profession, pharmacy. Education is below the standard. Yeah. So I just God, you need to help me to find purpose here. And I would say that when I fell in love with education, I don't know. I can't specifically say is this time, but I just realized that I started enjoying it, going to class, showing up and all of that. And even building relationship with my classmates then, because before I was just just going in and out. And by the time I think by the time I did my first teaching practice, I was like, okay, I started finding purpose, finding that opportunity to impact lives. Because by the time you get into the classroom and you actually you meet children, and you say, okay, I'm actually the responsible adult in this classroom. My say matters. I think that my passion and everything started all from there. And I finished from education. When I was in uni as well, I did volunteer with some organizations, NGOs. So we go and help children and all of that in secondary school. So I think all of that just builds up to how I really found my passion in education.
Amazing. Amazing. So roughly how many years in total have you been in education sector?
I will not count my undergraduate. So I'll say roughly 4 years now. Yeah, 4 years. I did 1 year in Nigeria.
Yeah, and 3 years.
And 3 years. Yeah.
So I mean, that's really interesting. Let's do a bit of comparison now. You've had that experience back in Nigeria. You have 3 years experience here. I mean, 1 year experience is enough in Nigeria to let you know how the system is.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, in terms of curriculum, in terms of the teaching methods, what do you think are the strengths of and weaknesses of both systems? Yeah.
So I think I'll answer the question and start by saying that like there is a big difference in you know, our education system. There's a big difference. Yeah. You know, I used to feel like when I came here and, you know, they say, oh, you have to, like the way they look at you, like, okay, you don't understand our system and everything. And literally I had to learn, I had to like read all the curriculum, do everything to, you know, be on the same page. Because I felt like I was like, I have had experience in Nigeria. What are you talking about? Teacher, it's the same thing everywhere. But it's not. My first shock in my first day, you can't shout at the child. Yeah. I mean, I was talking, so I was like, oh, you raised your voice. I said, I didn't raise my voice. Like, that's my normal voice, right? So I'm just trying to say, like, there's a big difference in the curriculum, the style of teaching. So I think I'll look at the nursery education, for instance, in Nigeria. Because that's where you're focused. Yeah, I'm currently in nursery setting. So it's quite different. In Nigeria, it's quite teacher-led. But in the UK, it's more like child-led learning. So we like to go from what's the child interest, and then you build on their child interest, right? Compared to Nigeria, whereby it's more academic, more serious, as at that nursery.
Week 1, A to C.
Exactly.
Week 2, you build up on that one again.
Exactly. It's quite academic. It's quite focused. It's quite like we're assessing them. Whereas here, we're not doing assessing. They're not writing tests. They're not. If you enter a nursery setting, you just feel like all you do is play and play. Do you even know anything? But they do. Yeah. Right. So there's something in the curriculum that says, in the early years curriculum, that says that children shouldn't learn too much too early. And I remember that when I started in the UK and I was reading the curriculum, that stuck with me, because I look back at growing up. You see my big bag. Do you understand? Like the things I'm already learning as at that age. And then at this, you're telling me children shouldn't learn too much too early. And like working in the system, I can now say and argue, children shouldn't learn too much too early, because eventually they will learn what you want them to learn, right? And I think I'm going to go into the strength and the strength of each system now. So I'll say for the UK, I like the fact that we go based on, it's child-led. Yeah, and the interest. And at that age, let's be honest, children just want to play. Children want to play. So what we do is like from your play, we initiate learning. So that's my job as a teacher. I'm not coming to say this morning, sit down, do assembly, no. When they come in the morning, they find the classroom is set up. We have different areas of learning. So we have literacy, maths. It just doesn't look like what you are writing. Do you understand? But it's play-based. So like we have all these areas, we have all these toys, everything that they can learn. They can use to initiate their learning. The typical African parents would be like, why would I pay so much for you to go to school and be playing? Exactly. Like for you to be in this, you're playing in the sand. You mean you're in the sand? Why not stay at home and play in the sand? But I can tell you that like sometimes I'm playing with children in the sand, and I just sit there and they start having conversation. They start telling you see, there was a day a child was playing and it was in this, pouring the sand. I was like, it's raining, it's pouring. And from there we start talking about, and also another thing I like is, here one of the thing about the curriculum is understanding the world. So you find out if you talk to children here, they are quite vast in, absolutely. Understanding the world. I think that's one thing I like about, in terms of history, in terms of facts, science. Yes, science. They are so vast, and which is something that we don't really have in Nigeria. If you pick a child in my nursery setting, it might not be able to tell you multiplication tables, but in terms of like science, facts, all these other things, you just be like, what are you talking about? And it's again, we try to go from what the children likes, again, child-led. So when they come in the morning, maybe this child goes to the dinosaur, is playing with the dinosaur. And I know that for that day, maybe this child next step is I want him to be able to count 1 to 20. So I'm the one that I say, okay, from that
the
dinosaur,
toys,
we start talking about numbers. Oh, how many dinosaurs can you see? Oh, if I add one more, how many does it make? All these other things. Because I even feel like even mathematical as well, the way we teach it, I'm like, oh my God, if they taught me like this, I would hate maths. Maths is so much.
I know, right? Everyone hates their maths teacher.
But then, like, when I see how we teach them, like, okay, add one more, like addition, all these other things. So, it does have a strength. And I'll go to Nigerian strength now. So, in our Nigerian setting, I think I love the fact that, with that academic part, that tenacity, it does build tenacity in us, right? It helps us to be tenacious. You know that you have to focus for this time. You have to, compare to like when you're playing, all you just want to do, you don't really realize that, like, there's that setting off, you sit down and you learn. I mean, you get to that point where we prepare them for school when they're going to school. But I'll say, as a teacher, let me be honest, it's a bit hard when you start, they're used to playing, and now you want to gradually,
it's time for serious work.
And that's why even when they get into reception, which is their entry into primary school, they don't bombard them with serious work like that. There's still that element of play as well. So reception is still part of early years as well. So there's still that element of play just to ease them into. But the minute they enter year one, it's like.
But do you think that affects them? Because I think, I mean, like I mentioned in the last conversation, I've worked in the secondary school setting where you give them a task and they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Or they tell you, oh, I don't feel like doing it. And by the time some of them even do it, they don't do an excellent job just because sometimes they probably do not even care, or probably it's just laziness. But do you think that also just plays a major part?
It does play a major part. Like I was saying about our Nigerian system, where there's a strong emphasis on academic achievements.
Yes.
Whereas there's not.
First class.
Yeah. Like, you have to be first. First position. Second position.
Second, third. Anything fourth, fifth.
No.
I think they can even pardon fourth, fifth. But is it sixth? Or more, just stand like this.
Even if you carry second, I would say the person that carry first, kolori meji, doesn't have 2 heads. So that there's a strong emphasis of academic achievement, whereas in the UK system, there's really not.
Yeah.
We go at every child's pace. We go at every child. We don't shame any child, right? So we go at every child's strength compared to the Nigerian system, whereby, and I think that strong emphasis on achievement also helped build that tenacity in us.
Absolutely.
So, which is lacking. That's why you're saying they don't want to do it. Yeah, because there's no motivation. Why should I do it?
Because even in the work sector as well, you see Africans, have that tenacity. You see them up there taking challenges.
Yeah.
I mean, they also do as well, but you just see that it's in our DNA. It's in our blood.
I mean, there are some things that sometimes I see my colleagues compare and I'm like, what do you mean? What's the big deal?
What's the big deal about this?
So I think it actually does matter at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, we do it to the extreme in Nigeria. Like I said, you're like, the person that you must carry first, you must carry, like, go at your child's pace. It's okay. And one thing I think I like about this system is that we emphasize that it's okay to make mistake. And I feel like growing up in Nigeria, you are always afraid to make mistakes. Always afraid to not be the second, the third, that there's a way we can still achieve that in a healthy way. It's my own perspective, so that I like the fact that there's that strong achievement. It does help.
So that's one strength
for Nigeria. And another strength I'll talk about is like our resilience, adaptability. We're very resilient.
We are hustlers.
We can, even with the fact that we don't have all the resources, we don't have all the,
and even from a young age, we are hustlers.
Like, we're very resilient. We can adapt to situation. I mean, when I was writing these points out, I think about the fact that, I worked in some public schools before I got a job, and there are some schools that they don't have chairs, they don't have tables, but you still see children strive to do very well in their exams and everything. But if you come here, sometimes I'm like, you have everything, but you don't even want to learn. Honestly, you have everything at your disposal. You don't even want to. Do you understand? It's a strength. Like,
it is.
We can adapt to any situation, and we'll still do well. It's not our circumstance. Is not reasons for us to say, okay, because I don't have light, I'm going to
Yeah.
fail, or because.
No.
But you see, let them not have light. Nobody's doing anything.
Literally, they're going on holidays.
So yeah, I can say that yes, that is really a good strength for us. The fact that we can adapt, we are very resilient, and these are the life skills that you need anyway.
Honestly, to survive in life.
I'll also say that for Nigeria education, culture play a very big culture and morals, moral education.
Morals in caps.
Yes, morals.
In caps.
Morals.
Because I've seen things.
I've seen things.
I've seen my younger brother, someone that is old enough to be not even old enough. You are my younger brother, my younger sister, be rude to me.
Yeah.
Just because I'm standing in the stead of your teacher.
Yes, and we can say that it is even integrated into our education. Whereas here, there's no, I'm sorry to say, but there's no culture, there's no morals,
no respect.
No respect, yeah. No respect for elders. They don't understand. Children call their parents by their first name. Mm-hmm. My mother's name is Jessica. Like, okay.
That's even a very mild disrespect.
Yeah.
I mean, you told me the last time that's your worst experience.
Oh yeah, I'll still say. I mean, you see a child just swear at you, and you're just like
you dare not, you dare not look me in the face and actually use the curse word in Nigeria. Like, you dare not do that.
Who born you? Till now, if we say our teacher, some of us will still be like,
you dare not be rude. Yeah. Like, you dare not look your teacher in the face and call your teacher names. Or be nasty or be silly. Even if when you're silly, you do it with some level of fear.
Exactly.
There's this fear of, I'm silly, I'm silly, but but here, no one cares.
No, and it's just, if we say we should sit on this topic.
So yeah, we talked about our strength as academic achievement.
Yes,
no, was that the first point?
Yes.
Yeah, and resilience and adaptability and then culture.
Yes.
Now, this brings me to parenting. Now, we know that here it's different. You talked about how you cannot raise your voice at a child. You can't spank your child. Parenting here as an immigrant comes with its own set of challenges, right?
It does.
How can parents strike a discipline between traditional discipline and the more relaxed UK approach without feeling judged?
Yeah. I think, like you said, I was going to, when you were asking a question like discipline, one of the things that people struggle with discipline, because let's be realistic, we need to be disciplined, we need to be cautious, we need to, and I'll start by saying that first of all, as parents, you need to understand the laws protecting children. Go and read up. Because if you don't understand, you will always have clashes with schools and with, teachers and everything. And as a teacher working in the system, I used to say to my friends, I have children, listen, teachers are not your enemies, but we also have laws that we are following. We have rules and regulations. Yeah. We have these things that I also need to protect myself. Mm-hmm. So as much as even if your child is in my class, as much as maybe we are from the same place and everything, I still need to protect
yourself as a teacher.
Their laws. So first of all, parents, understand the laws protecting children, understanding to what extent is what and what. Do you understand? So first of all, they know they beat for you.
They don't beat children.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's basically seen as inflicting pain on children. Yeah. And there are some places whereby when we see mark on a child, we know that, okay, there's probably something going on. Yeah. And we are trained to be able to pick things up, and we work with children, and they're called vulnerable people. They're part of the vulnerable people as well. So that's why we have to have a DBS check, have all this police check,
safeguarding, everything.
Exactly. So just so that we protect ourselves as well. And the UK is so particular about protecting children. They care about children. Every child's life matter. It doesn't matter whether they have needs or they, every child's life matter. And so you would think that, they're doing too much. No, there's a reason behind it. There are laws behind these things. So First of all, parents, know all the laws, go and read up, find out. See, there's nothing you're looking for. It's on gov.uk.
That's that website.
If you want to know the curriculum they're teaching your children, it's on gov.uk. So read up.
Yeah.
Know the laws, because that can help you to also protect yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll say that if anything happens at home and you feel like, okay, maybe there's a mark on your child, maybe they fell and there's a mark over the weekend, and you come on Monday, right? Don't just drop off. Report it. Because we're going to take note of that and say, oh, did mom actually say to us how this happened? And listen, we don't go about interrogating children, because some people have the perspective that, oh, they keep asking my child questions and this. Even when we don't have ask children, sometimes they come to you like, oh, here, do you know what happened to me?
Children
like this. Blah, 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 blah. So, to protect yourself as well, say to teachers, okay, this and this and this is what happened and all of that. Just so you know, because whatever mark is on them, you need to account for it, right? You need to be able to, and they try to collaborate stories as well. So if mom is saying something and the child is saying something different, just like,
and it's not corroborating.
So know the laws, right? And I also say that in terms of like discipline, first of all, you need to be in a community of people that you believe the same thing. Yeah. Because you can't achieve discipline in isolation.
You can't, no.
So you need to, because
in every sense, community is important here. Like for every single thing that you're doing, community is important. So it's very crucial to have that community support for immigrant parents raising children here in the UK.
Yes, use that cultural aware support system to help you. I used to say that one of the things I've seen as I work in schools, I see some community, some group of people, and I love what they have. Right, you see how they discipline their own children, and you can tell that they thrive on that community. Yeah, do you understand? So say my child knows that there's some behaviors that are not allowed. If I send her or him to your house, I know that we share the same values. So I know that it's not going to get to your house and then he's misbehaving or doing something. What I'm saying is what he's going to be getting from your house as well. So use that community to your advantage. So you can't.
And especially as Christians as well, when you have, fellow believers in church. Yeah. Because here you cannot really avoid things like play dates, sleepovers. It's something you have to lay on. You can't raise your child in isolation like you said. Yeah. So you want to have, a trusted community that you can entrust your children with. Yes. When they go for sleepovers, oh, she's in this person's house and I'm relaxed. I'm fine. Right? Because social need is very important. So you need to commit them to the right community. So you have to be intentional about the community that you're building, the community that you're raising as well. Yeah.
I think I also want to say that adapt cultural values. The fact that we're not in Nigeria doesn't erase the fact that we're Nigerians. And there's some values, there's some cultural beliefs, there's some, it doesn't erase that. Yeah, there's some things you have to hold on to no matter what. No matter where you are. Yeah. And I say this, I don't want to mention, but I think I'll mention. I have some Polish children in my classroom. I have some, Indians, Asians, and I can tell you that they owe their values, their cultural values, dear to their heart like this. So why are we not going to hold on to us? Yeah, so you need to hold on to that. So the fact that I might not be living in Nigeria, but stealing is not allowed in my house. Telling lies is not allowed. So making children understand these are our values. This is who we are. This is where we are from. This is our culture. Yeah. This is what This is what we do. These are our values, right? And try to instill that in them. People say, oh, they're too young. Blah, blah. They're not. They're not. It's from that age, that young age that you instill those values. Because even the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he's old, he will not depart from it. So whatever training, whatever discipline, whatever values, whatever principles that you actually instill and display to your children at that young age is what will take them. Obviously, for us, what we thrive on right now is what we were taught. Yeah. Many times you're saying we thank our parents, thank you for the training because it's very important. So you want your children to look back and say, oh, my parents actually did well
in training me.
Yeah.
So don't be too laid back.
No.
Just because you're here.
Don't abandon the culture.
Don't abandon the culture.
value.
Yeah.
Don't say because now everybody's British. They might. So I mean, some people are going. They might not ever go to Nigeria to live there anymore. But it doesn't erase the fact that this is who they are.
Yeah.
This is, no matter how hard we say, okay, well, you can never be British. Let's face it.
Even when you get the passport,
exactly,
you're first in Nigeria.
You're first in Nigeria.
Or wherever you're from. Yeah.
And you know, instill that value. And again, I'll also extend is that we are believers, right? This is what we believe. This is who we are. We are children of God.
Yeah.
As children of God, we don't do this. We don't do that. You know, this is not allowed. Instilling values, both, you know, our Christian values and our cultural values as well, and just making sure that the children understand who they are, whose they are, and where they're from. Yeah. And that also you can tell when a child is confident in themselves. And I'll tell you instances. For example, I have Black children in my class, and for them, just for that identity, I choose sometimes to wear my natural hair. Because children, there's some things I hear them say, you know, they're flinging and they're like, your hair is beautiful as well. You know, just making them feel comfortable, letting them understand that your black hair is also beautiful.
Black hair is beautiful, trust me.
Yeah.
I'm an advocate for black hair. This is black hair.
So, you know, because these are the little things. So I'll say to parents, like, instilling that value in them, let them know that they are enough in Christ Jesus. Christ
affirmations, very important.
Exactly. So letting them know that they're not missing out. Your skin might not be white. You're a child of God.
You're beautiful.
You're a human being. You're beautiful.
You're wonderfully and fearfully made.
You know, I mean, these are the things that I say. I used to tell my husband that my classroom shows me a lot of things. I see different worlds through the children. You see what they say. You see their fears. You see them crying when their friends say, I don't want to play with you. She doesn't want to play with it. And you're just like, I mean, there's something I just like snap out of it, you know.
But before we go into that aspect of, you know, your work life, I want to talk about also something else I think that that would also help parents here is being present.
Yeah, I was going to get to that actually before. Yes, because as I was talking about, you know, letting them know their cultures, their values, and you have to be present
for them to know. Yeah,
you have to be available. And like I used to say, from my teacher's perspective, two parents cannot be busy. Yeah. Both of you can be busy. Especially here. Both of you cannot be busy.
One person has to be available.
One person has to be available. And I'll say with all the utmost respect, I know that we have to, you know,
pay the bills,
get everything, childcare. But listen, things are happening. You cannot leave your child to the system. You can't leave them just to the system and you trust that that's fine. You can't also leave them to, they go to church on Sunday.
You can't
just leave
You
have to be present. You have to be present. And when I mean present, you have to be present. I know that we can be tired. You've had a long day. You've had everything. But listen, I see every day, I see parents that are doing this, and I can tell you, you can do it. I say to my friends, if I can see parents that do this, even with all the busyness, you can do it. If you give yourself, if you want to look for reasons why you shouldn't do it, you find. And if you want to actually see reasons why you should do it, you will also find. So it depends on your choice. So you can't, both parents can't be, you know, so busy that we're all, you know, one person has to be gathering shift. One person has to be present. And when I mean present, right? So I have a parent in my class that I fear her. And the reason I fear her is because I know that she asks her daughter about a day every day. And it is not just, how was your day? Fine. No. From the time I drop you to when I'm picking you up, what happened?
Details.
And I know that the child actually tell her everything.
Download everything.
So I'm even very careful what she is picking in the classroom. And if anything is happening there, somebody is fighting or she falls or she do this, everything has to be noted because I know that this child and the mother, they're fighting. So from the minute she's picking up in the car, she's asking her questions. She said, my child tells me everything. And the child also say, my mom knows everything that happens in nursery today. So I see that kind of, that child, I know that they have that conversation. Even the way she is in the classroom, I can tell you that she has a present adult in her life, right? So both parents can't be, so busy that we're just leaving our child to iPads and televisions and everything. You need to know what's going on in their lives. They're, even as this young age, like I said, they face different things. A child might say, "What's your hair like that?" And all these different things.
Yeah.
And you just have to like know what their struggles are. Because you might think, oh, they're just children, they play all day. And you say, no, it's not just play all day. This is where their character is being formed. This is where, their person
after the home, the school is the next training ground.
This is where they are learning.
They spend more time during the day, they actually spend more time because by the time they get home, it's just to rest and they are going to sleep.
Yeah.
And then the cycle begins again.
Yeah. This is where they are learning, they are building friendship. And it's just don't just say, oh yeah, this person's there. No, you don't know the family they come from. You don't know so you need to be present to, investigate. Okay, who is my friend's, who is my child's friend?
Yeah.
Who are you friends with today? Who did you talk to? Who did you play with? They might have a fallout. You want to, that's where you pick issues and you start instilling those values.
Be very, very curious. Ask questions. Have conversations. Sit down conversations. Like sit down talks and say, okay, talk to me about this. Like bring up topics. The weirdest topic you can think of. And bring it up.
Let me just say, listen. I know growing up in Nigeria, there were some things that we didn't learn until when we were like much older. Yeah. There's some things that were sacred, you can't see. But listen, again and again, I'm saying listen because this is a society whereby a lot is happening. And we can all testify to this, right? So you need to have that conversation in your house first. Don't let your child be hearing about these things outside, right? And there are different things. There are children that are from same-sex parents, right? In the same classroom with them. These are not in the film anymore. These are like
real life
situations,
in the classroom.
Right? Like you said earlier, you can't really say, oh, you're not having played it, or you're not, I can still say sleepover. Me, I'm still like, you're not sleeping over. But
but play date. I feel like me as well. Sleepover might be too extreme because I watched a movie recently where someone did sleepover and then something happened. I'm just like, okay, play date's fine.
Play date, yes, sleepover, yes.
We'll see about that later.
Yeah, so it's you have to like start. Okay, what are their values like? And it's from there you can say, okay, yes, I understand that your friend is from this kind of value, but this is not who we are. This is not what we do.
Yeah.
We are children of God. Helping them to understand who they are. And also as a Christian, this is a community whereby, there's so many things now, so many goals, but I can still tell you that I have children in my classroom that are Christians and they're so bold about their faith. Their parents have helped them to understand who they are. So they are not too young to understand.
They're not.
So both parents can't be too busy.
Thank you for that. So let's go to, I think this will be the final question as we bring this to a wrap. About your day. I mean, you talked about how you see different things and sometimes, you see good things that make you smile and just reminds you of the goal of why you're actually here, right? So what's the best part of your job?
I think the best part is knowing that I'm impacting life. I'm shaping someone's life. It's sacred. I say to
and it's not just someone, many lives.
Yes, like I say to my husband, I say my job is spiritual. I'm partnering with God to shape someone's life. So funny. My children used to. There are some things that I say now. They say I'm like, oh my God. Sometimes you go. I think I heard someone say, shush, 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 shush. I was like, that's me.
You say shush.
Yeah, sometimes I say shush. Because there are some values that I have. Sometimes I see things happen and I see the way my colleagues just dismiss it sometimes. I go back and call the children, try to explain to them. And I can say that like my person, my values, my belief, as much as I'm not forcing any child to, believe anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, in terms of like helping them grow, helping them
personal
understand.
Development.
Yes, personal development, helping them understand. I mean, especially, I say this, you see children, listen, children want to be adults so much. Like they can't just wait. So you see them try to
adulthood is chaotic. They should calm down.
I'm telling you, today I was watching a child trying to give birth in my class. So she was in the home corner like, I'm pregnant. She put the baby in the belly. And I'm like, do you actually think that's how it is? But you know, they want to be adults so much, so fast. Badly. They can't just, they try to, you know, they try to say what you say, mimic you and all of that. So it's in all those instances they try to like shape their life, make it a learning curve. As much as I don't just want to teach you 1, 2, 3, you know, all those things. I want to teach you values, life values. Today I was playing puzzles with some children, and one of them was like, "It's so hard. I don't want to do it anymore." I was like, "You don't give up." I said, "What do I say? You don't give up." Like things like that. Just like it might be hard, but you don't give up. Like, okay, I'm gonna do it with you. Let's do it together, and then we stay there for like hours just trying to sort it. Even me, I was tired, but like I was like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to stay there. We can't keep up. So
being motivational speaker, son.
I'm telling you. So you know, things like that just help. It just makes me so happy. And I say that also when I see them when they come in September. Next month now, we're going to be saying goodbye. You see their growth. You see how much they've grown. You know, somebody that doesn't know numbers before, they don't know anything. And now you see even their conversations. I think for me, the ones that is like so touching to me are children that English is not their first language. And you know, I see how we started, we're struggling, and by the time they're going, I'm like, I can't believe you're not like having full conversations. So I think that really makes me happy. And just makes me feel fulfilled, and just seeing them grow. It's a beautiful, watching children grow is so beautiful. It is so beautiful. Yeah, so I think, that's one of the things that makes me so excited and passionate. Just knowing that you are impacting someone's life. And when I look back at my own life, I know there were some teachers that, you know, taught me, and I can still go back and feel like I'm grateful for this teacher. If not for this person, you know, I'm really grateful for what you did in my life, the words you said. I can look back and say several times my secondary school, you know, growing up as a teenager, there were some teachers that as much as you want to be bad child, you know, there were some of those teachers that they had values. They say, in my class, you can't do this, you can't, you know, all those things. And in all honesty, they come back to just shape you, help you in even moments that you don't think they can be so helpful for you in life. So, yeah. Like teaching is sacred.
It is. And like people say, you know, for teachers, they say their reward is in heaven. I don't think so. I think that you start seeing your reward from here, especially in the impact that you're actually, because I mean, I think about my teachers way back from primary, secondary school, and I mean, back then I might not have seen the importance of their efforts, but now I'm grateful for the discipline. I'm grateful for the teachings as well. But I mean, shout out to every teacher out there, everyone, every tutor, every educator. Shout out to you guys, and well done. Thank you so much for sharing your heartfelt and valuable insights about your job, about your journey into education. I know that it's a lot. Like I just did it for like 2-3 months, and I'm like, never again. No, never again. But I think I also had beautiful days. I think sometime last week I was clearing a particular box, and in a jotter I saw a note that one of the students gave to me.
I always keep them,
and I kept it. I pasted it, and you know, in the note she said, "Oh, hey miss, you are an angel," and they drew angel on the. I was like, that day I had such a good day. Like, even though things were going bad, but that thing just made me really, really, really smile.
Listen, you know what? I used to say to my husband, you need to buckle up, because the way my children used to, like, they give me compliments, just like, it's just so beautiful.
Yeah, and children are really, really innocent and very honest.
Yes, very honest.
Very honest.
Very honest.
Children, they don't lie. They don't lie about compliments. They don't lie about things.
Yeah. They say it as raw as it comes to their mind.
Yeah.
Closing remarks and everything. I like to say for parents here, you know, be open, make your home a safe space for your child or your children, as the case may be. Make it a place whereby, you know, as much as I know here we don't beat them, make your home a place that your children, you can have dialogues. I mean, I'm not saying like make them follow blindly, obedience blindly, no, but make them understand. Children nowadays want to know why.
Yeah.
You want me, why do you? And I know that thing can be infuriating. Like, what do you mean why? I'm asking you to do something, do it now. Like, but I want you to understand that, like, you need to make your home a place that your child can come to you. They can confide in you. They can tell you anything. A place where everybody is accepted with love.
Yeah.
Extend grace to your children. I know we say extend grace to your colleagues, everything.
But even to your
children.
Even to your
children, extend. I mean, there are sometimes that you're tired, you can't deal with the tantrum right now and everything. Extend grace. Take a break. Even as teachers, sometimes I go to the bathroom and I just take that 1 minute, 2 minutes speaking to them, like, take a break.
Breathe.
You don't have to discipline like writing
instantly.
If you know that you're going to do it in a way that at the end of the day is going to leave a bad impact on the child, take a break, step back. Maybe you ask your partner your husband or your wife to do it in that instance.
Why you just
get and then you can come back again. But make your home a place whereby your child or your children are safe to tell you anything. They are safe to come to you and say, Mommy, this is what I'm, my friend did this to me, it made me feel so sad, Don't just make your children like they can't tell you anything.
Yeah, be approachable.
Yeah,
Let your home be full of love.
Yes, and compassion. Help them understand that, listen, children will always make mistakes. Help them understand that mistake is part of life. We learn and we grow from it, Help them see that learning curve from that mistake, right? I used to say, when I first got to the UK, why are there so many ways? Why are we trying to feel like, just do it for them? But let them, that's how they learn. When they pour it, maybe you want to pour milk and they pour it on the table, ask them to clean it. They're learning. Next time he's trying to do it to make sure it doesn't spill, because I want to just drink my milk. I don't want to spill it. So I hope you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
Yeah, just help them understand that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay. Like, our home is a safe space. It's a safe, no matter what happened. Like, maybe they've done something, no matter what happened, let them not be,
let them not be scared.
Let them not be too scared that
they can't
come to you first and tell you. One of the beautiful things, again, is like, let them understand your language.
Absolutely.
Because I see some parents, when they walk in, even if something has happened and I know that I'm going to report, the child is already telling the parents in the language. So I'm like, okay, this is what has happened. And then the parents say, you already said to me now that. I'm like, so let your children be able to communicate to you. I know that as adults, a lot is going on. We also have things going on, job, everything. We want to balance everything. You still want to parents, shape this one's life. I want you to know that no matter what these are, that your legacy is important as well. You have to do it the right way. You have to
shape them the way that you actually want them to.
Make your home a safe space, and then be involved in your child's education. I say to people, go for parents' evening, be part of it. If they need a governor, volunteer to be a governor. Just be in that system.
Be actively
involved. Don't just take them to school and that's it. Maybe the child is even trying to like have a conversation with you in the morning.
Like, I have shifts.
Yes, I know people like to just drop off and then just go and like everything, maybe pick up as well. They're trying to tell you how their day went, what they did, and stop. Some people ruin their children's artwork. Sometimes, children, like, they can draw anything. So, like, I don't even understand what they're like. Some parents trash, and it really hurts children's feelings, When they say they've done something for you, even if it doesn't make sense.
Hype it.
Let them, that's how you are building their confidence as well. You can keep it on your fridge. After some days, they just magically disappear. Because we also do it in school. We display it for after a while. It's gone. They don't remember it because we make many more. So, be involved. Let them know you're in school as a parent. Let them know, even in school, that we're a Christian family. This is not tolerated. This is tolerated. Do you understand? So be
bold about your faith.
Yes, be bold about your faith. Everybody, part of the British value, everybody have value to religion. So it doesn't matter. Yeah. So be bold. This is what I believe in. You can't shame me for what I believe in. Exactly. So this is what I believe in, and this is what my child believes in, right? Model what you want to see in your child. It's not just do what I say. Yeah. Because
it's not just talk.
Not talk.
Yeah.
They also want to see you do it because they do what you do. I mean, there are children that when they are displaying in class, I'm like, I can see your mother in you. So, model what you want to see in your child, right? So you want to teach them that respect. Show them respect as well. Like I used to say, they are the little humans, but it doesn't erase the fact that they are still humans.
Yeah.
So even if I do something, apologize to them. I know our parents didn't apologize. We didn't grow up.
They didn't.
They say,
Did you see that? Did you see that video of more ticket? Only journey.
Exactly.
Apologize. Learn how to apologize.
Yeah. So apologize.
So be models to your children. Yeah. Practice what you say. Practice what you
saying sorry to your child doesn't make you less of a parent. Doesn't mean that your responsibility or your power or your position is not reduced.
It doesn't deplete it.
It doesn't. So, model that those things you want to see in them, that love, that understanding.
Say things like, please.
Yes, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. All those kind of thing. Model it, even like to the extent of like your belief.
Yeah.
You can't just say you have to wake up every day, pray, and they're not saying mommy pray.
Exactly.
They're not saying mommy walk.
Pray, have devotion. Let them see mommy and daddy kneel down, pray. Let them see you have quiet times.
Yeah.
Right?
Take them out, take them to the park. I saw a video someone shows at the park and she was like, I don't even see any black child here. And I was just like saying, because most people are probably working and weekend you want to rest. I know you want to rest. Take them to the park, take them to all those things. This is where they also, they see other children, they play together, take them to the library. I go to the libraries and sometimes I see parents bring their children. They're trying to still finish work and they're doing their assignments or they're doing work. So like just let them also blend into the system. I know as adults, we're trying to, work, get the money, everything, take them. Let them also integrate. Now it's summertime. There are lots of fun fairs around. Be outside. Even if you just take them there, let them enjoy the rides and everything.
Yeah.
So just model what you want to see in your child and be as present as possible. And I'll also say that be patient, I know that as Nigerian parents, be patient.
Our blood is hot.
Yes. So even me, sometimes in the class, I'm like, Relax. They will still get what you want them to get.
Yeah.
Do it with, be patient and extend grace as well. Extend grace. Their children, they will always get on our nerves.
Yeah.
You just need to extend that grace. And lastly, I'll say that make your child a happy child, where they have a safe, seen, supported home. Home where they are safe, home where they are seen. They're not just seen as, your child. What's this? They're safe, they're seen, and they're supported. So maybe they're struggling in something, partner with their teacher, partner with their children's teachers as well.
Yeah.
Okay, my child is struggling with this and everything, so help them, be a happy child.
Identify their needs and also
children are supposed to be happy. We don't want children that will be traumatized and they are healing
Let them have
from
happy childhood memories.
Yes. So make your home a safe space, a place where they are safe, they are seen, they know that, okay, no matter what, I'm safe in this place. I'm seen. My mom knows that, I'm important. I matter. No matter what I say, my say also counts.
Yeah.
And they're supported through whatever it is, maybe speech defect, all these things, they're supported. And don't say no to support when schools say, okay, we notice this thing. Because I know as Nigerians, sometimes we're like, my child is not this and that, but listen.
Try to spiritualize.
Let me just talk little on that. Yeah, as much as we are believers, but when they offer help, receive it.
Yeah.
Right? Because all these things are like, there's lots of protocols. So if you say no, and then later when you find out that there's actually a problem, then it's so hard to get you on that because there's a lot of, we live in the UK, backlog everywhere. As it is in the NHS, is also in backlog. So, when a teacher saying that, exactly, waiting list. So when a teacher say, we see that, okay, this child is struggling with speech or is doing this and that, just accept, okay, what is the help? As much as accept the help and then go and continue the rest on your needs as well. You are believers, right? Yeah. So just accept help, just make sure that they are well supported. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh my God, that was an amazing and really, really informed conversation. Honestly, I think that parenting itself is a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And there's no manual for these things, but I mean, just like it's through conversations like this through resources that we're able to that we're able to then have a guide to actually do things right. And like you said, we can do it. We can do it right. We can get it right. We can actually build that legacy in our children. And I pray that God will help us all in the name of Jesus.
Amen. Amen.
That's the end of today's episode. Finally.
Thank you.
We did it.
Yay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming again. And thank you for just sharing your thoughts, sharing your wisdom out there. And I know that this will definitely bless people. This will definitely help people. Maybe not now, in 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Even me, I'll come and watch it again.
Exactly, to remind ourselves of what we've said, you know. And that's it. Signing out. Bye.